Hey there, it's Chrissy K. Rollins here. And if you're new to this series, I've been sharing weekly bite-sized videos focused on simplifying the business journey so that if you've been wanting to start a business or a side business, you can ditch the excuses and make it happen. In today's video, I'm sharing with you one of two aspects of business ownership that are never discussed in business trainings or networking meetings. I started this conversation in my creation process video series, so be sure to go check that out after watching this one, and also hit subscribe and turn on the notifications wherever you're viewing this so you don't miss part 2. Now let's get started. If you want early access to these videos, then I invite you to hop over and check out the community that I'm building over on Patreon and find the level of support that is right for you. If you find value in what I'm sharing in this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. Your support really helps this channel so much, and I appreciate you watching and sharing this video with others. Okay, so when you think of business ownership, your mind most likely goes to the practical, physical aspects of business ownership. Owning the property, the supplies needed in order to support your business, owning the financial aspects, owning the name, the website, and all the other businessy aspects of entrepreneurship. However, in my 15 years of business ownership, there are two main areas of ownership that I have not seen discussed, which I have found to be absolutely essential for business success. Once I understood the power of taking ownership in these two areas, everything started to click and fall into place for my business, and I better understood where to focus my time and my energy in order to maximize the return on investments that I have made in my business. The first area of ownership that we're going to focus on in this video that extends beyond the logistics of your business is that as a business owner, it's absolutely essential for you to take ownership over your emotional state. Before I really embraced this concept, I thought that I didn't have enough time or support to be effective in my business. I thought to myself almost on a daily basis that if I had more time, if I had more support from my spouse, I would easily be attracting more consistent clients and income, that it would be easier for me to gain traction, easier for me to get results that I knew were possible. And I blamed my time constraints and my apparent lack of support for many of my business struggles. Until one day, I woke up to this powerful realization. I got super curious about how I was actually spending the time that I did have to build my business. I started to watch how I used my time, what I accomplished in set time frames, and I began to see what was really going on. I found that when I did have time, I spent much of that time in my head worried about if I was going to get the results that I wanted to get from my actions. I spent that time fantasizing about all the alternative ways that I could move forward if the results didn't happen. I kept making up stories in my mind about how people were going to reject what I was offering or stop being friends with me if I hit them up with my business offers, and various other worst case scenarios just kept running through my mind. Once I began to see how much of my time and energy was actually going into my fears and my doubts and my insecurities, I began to shift my focus in a new way. I began to reel my mind back in and point it in a more positive and productive direction. And I began to envision those in need of my services happily receiving communications from me about my offerings and being grateful that I took time to inform them. I started to challenge myself to take full ownership over my emotional state as I worked on my business and no longer allowed past habitual negative thinking to take up space that I could hold for receiving more results. And let me tell you, this focus was well worth the investment of my mind space and my energy. Taking ownership of how I felt and moving forward towards my goals cleared the space for taking the action steps I knew would bring results. I no longer wasted time worrying about how I felt and making decisions on what I was going to follow through on based on how I was feeling in the moment. Have you ever been there where you tell yourself tomorrow I'm going to accomplish X, Y, and Z in my business only to wake up and not feel like it? That was me on a regular basis. And owning my emotions and moving forward regardless shifted it all for me. I began to see daily business tasks as simply an opportunity to feel what I was feeling and move forward anyway. And before I knew it, I was accomplishing more in less time with less effort and finding more results. So I want to know, is this hitting home for you? I invite you to begin to watch your emotions throughout your workday and see where you're really investing your energy. Share in the comments below if this has been a struggle for you and what works for you to rein yourself back in. What helps you to move your business forward? Next week, I'm going to be sharing with you the second unspoken aspect of business ownership, and I really hope that you stick around and catch that video too. And if you'd like step-by-step support and guidance into the entrepreneurship journey, then for sure, hop over to Patreon and see the levels of support and the ongoing conversation already underway with this like-minded, passionate community of others just like you, who feel called to make a greater impact in the lives of others while contributing financially to their households. Right now is the best time to join, because when you do, you'll have the option to receive a free total clarity breakthrough session with me, giving you space to identify what your best next step is in moving toward the life that you desire. This year's focus in the community is all about discovering, tapping into, and using your gifts to make what you love while making a difference in the lives of others. And if you're already a member, then invite other amazing like-minded people like yourself to join us. Either way, be sure to subscribe wherever you're watching this video, as I'll be dropping powerful, content-packed, easy to consume and digest videos just like this one every week, and so much more along the way. All right, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.